Carl and Liam here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for sure. And it's We're Afraid of the Dark, our Are You Afraid of the Dark review slash talk through. We're up to episode 8 of season 2, The Tale of the Whispering Walls, written by Alison Lee Bingham and directed by DJ McHale, with our cast in the episode being Vivian Liu as Louise Lamb, Tama Lee as Claire Dickens, Ryan Gifford as Andrew Dickens, Robert Hidson as Master Raymond. We'll talk more about him. And Una Kay as Violet / the Elegant Lady. Couple of little facts about this one. This is the second time that Zebo is mentioned. So while not in it or anything like that, it is a mention. And there is a weird, like it links it. Well, is it the first time it's felt like this is a shared universe?
It might be. I mean, we've obviously had Sardo appearing in multiple stories now and Dr. Vink and stuff like that. I kind of like that idea that they all kind of take place within some kind of contained universe. That would be cool.
Agreed. And the other fact is, in a tavern scene, if you hear it and you're listening and paying attention, the jukebox plays a song, plays the theme of the actual show.
It does.
Right, we're over the halfway point of season 2. So let's take a look at the storyteller rankings. I've done it again. I said I'd do it every so often. And we have in joint third place with 2 stories each. Gary, with The Tale of the Super Specs, The Tale of the Pinball Wizard. Absolutely sucking.
That's not too great, Gary. Not too great.
Kiki, The Tale of the Captured Souls, The Tale of the Dream Machine. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, Kiki's got a theme.
That is actually true. They've got a similar, yeah.
Frank, The Tale of the Phantom Cab, The Tale of the Midnight Madness. Frank Strong.
Well, Frank, good stuff. I like it.
And then we have Eric, who is no longer in the show, so will never ever go up, but still holding his own in joint third place with The Tale of the Dark Music and The Tale of Jake and the Leprechaun. Both solid enough episodes too.
Decent.
In second place with 3 stories, we have David with The Tale of the Lonely Ghost, The Tale of the Twisted Claw, and The Tale of the Dark Dragon. Hit miss for him.
Yeah, middle of the road.
And in joint first place with 5 stories each. So 10 stories out of everything to date is done with 2 people.
That's a lot.
It is. We have Kirsten with The Tale of the Hungry Hounds, The Tale of the Prom Queen, The Tale of the Final Wish, The Tale of Locker 22, and The Tale of the Frozen Ghost.
You can definitely see a reoccurring theme with her.
Indeed. And then we have Betty Ann. Betty Ann is the joint other one, with The Tale of Laughing in the Dark, The Tale of the Nightly Neighbors, The Tale of the Sorcerer's Apprentice, The Tale of the 13th Floor, and this one, The Tale of the Whispering Walls, which is her 5th.
I think it's pretty close between her and Frank, I would say. But obviously, because she's had more, I suppose she's in at the top at the moment.
Yeah, because with The Tale of Laughing in the Dark and The Tale of the Nightly Neighbors alone, she kind of smashes it.
I agree.
So this is a Betty Ann story, and that at least gives me hope. And it's submitted for approval of the Midnight Society. This is The Tale of the Whispering Walls. There's a full moon, and in the context of the show, this means something, of course. Not only that, but it's a day of the leap year, and David reckons this means it's the night that the spirits of the dead are free to take away victims. Right, I have to tell you something here.
Yes.
Call this the maddest coincidence, but I watched this episode and wrote my notes on February 29th, 2024. Couldn't believe it when the episode started off with a bit about leap year. I actually was like, and this was done about 3 a.m. in the morning where I was alone at work.
That's such a strange coincidence. I mean, I already thought it was a weird coincidence that we actually watched these episodes around there being a leap year. If you actually watched it on the exact day, I mean, that's definitely weird.
I was quite pleased by it. I was like, I'm so writing this in the notes.
was meant to be.
It was meant to be. Arriving at the campfire, they find a person in long back robes and wearing a white skull mask. Kirsten is scared and wants to leave, but Kiki reveals that's her behind the mask. It's part of her story. And she talks about the leap year and the full moon, with the masks and the circle they're sitting in as their only protection. Betty Ann explains that her story takes place on February 29th. When it comes with a full moon, you better watch out. The spirits who are out on a full moon leap year are hunting, and it may be for you. I've never heard this, but I will tell you right now, when we got to this point, I pressed pause and I went outside my office and I went to see if there was a full moon. It was cloudy, couldn't see.
God damn it.
Louise Lamb is the babysitter for two kids named Claire Dickens and Andrew Dickens. What, the Dickens? They're on their way back from an amusement park, which Andrew excitedly recants his experience in the Laughing in the Dark funhouse and being scared by Zebo. So it's the same funhouse from season 1. So that means these stories are definitely taking place in the same world.
Yeah, no, that was a cool little, piece of information there for people who weren't paying attention.
And what I got hopeful, I was like, oh, right, because Betty Ann wrote and told Laughing in the Dark. So in her world, her story is a shared universe. Oh, I hope more do that.
Yeah, no, that's cool, yeah.
Of the two kids, Claire is the older one and finds her brother frustrating. They tease each other and Louise ends up getting lost, unsure where the highway is. So before you say it, I'll say it. It's sibling shit.
Indeed.
So yeah, Louise has got lost, but mainly because the sign she was expecting to see is pointing in a different direction. She wanted to find a highway sign, but it's pointing in a direction that she didn't think it would be. But obviously ends up going in the direction it is pointing. And as she drives away, we see it fall off, revealing that actually it's the other way. Someone had put up a fake sign. So eventually, after driving for a bit, not knowing where she is, Louise pulls over at a place called the Whisper Inn. Going inside, they find it seemingly deserted, seems a bit out of time, more like an old-timey Western saloon, or a place that kind of designed to look like one. Not finding anyone, they go to leave, but a voice shouts out that they should shut that door, shut the door. And they turn around to see a tall, pale man wearing his best My Chemical Romance Black Parade outfit. However, they nicked it from him because Black Parade is obviously many, many years later. But you know what they wore in that for that album cycle. You know what this looks like.
You nailed it, man. This is the big inspiration for the whole thing.
As soon as he popped on the screen, it was like, when I was a young... straight away, immediately in my head.
Yeah, I do agree. I do see it. I see it.
But not only that, he looks like a fucking emo.
Yeah, I mean, I just put that immediately stranger danger straight away.
Tell me about it. Louise asks him for directions, and in a very unnerving way, he advises her to take a shortcut via the dirt road outside. It travels through the woods and will take miles off your trip. And your response to that, in most circumstances, is like, nah, you're right. Where's the highway?
Yeah, your response is to immediately turn around and go out the door.
Yeah. But no, of course. Andrew, though, accidentally makes some wind chimes blow, which distracts everyone. And with a blowing sound effect, we hear the man moves to a different place in the room. They leave. He laughs sinisterly, and outside a big wind picks up. So we know he's a baddie.
Yeah, I did like that they actually do highlight that he was weird. I appreciate that.
Yes. And you might be thinking, well, what does wind got to do with this? Apparently a really important thing. But as we will reveal at the end, it makes no sense. Or at least I think it doesn't. They follow the path and arrive at an old house where the car stops running and now won't start up. Louise figures, I'll go to the house to ask to use the phone. And when she goes to the door, it opens automatically. It is pitch dark inside, and seemingly with zero, as she's already proven to not be that clever, but now I'm like, you've got no survival instincts at all. She's like, yeah, I'm going to go in. Especially with the door closing behind her. She's like, yeah, I'm going to go in. Mm-hmm. This woman wants to die. She wants to be chained up in a basement with a Leatherface character sticking a chainsaw in her chest.
Yeah, I mean, throughout this episode, the characters are led literally back and forth like complete morons, lambs to the slaughter.
It is that. Sometime later, Claire and Andrew are still waiting and haven't had enough, decide to go and find out. After knocking, the door opens by itself and they go inside to find an old-fashioned, dark and deserted place. I will say I like the interior of the house.
I think it's a nice location for for a ghost story for sure.
There we go. After not hearing sounds from upstairs, they figure it must be Louise, so race up there. And they arrive in a long hallway, hearing music and following it to a room. In that room, they find a lavish table with a musical merry-go-round and banana splits on the table. Now, you might think, well, why am I highlighting banana splits? Because in the car, Louise was offering to take them to her friends before they go home, where they would get banana splits. And apparently they really have a hard-on for banana splits.
You ever had a banana split before?
Yeah, but it's banana. I don't really like fruit in dessert.
It's okay. It's not like anything that great, but I mean, at least they're choosing a slightly more healthier option, I suppose.
Isn't it filled? Fuck off. Banana splits are all like filled with cream.
Well, it's got a banana in
Fair enough. Thinking Louise set this up for them, they decide to dig in. And I'm just like, right, okay. And you've kind of highlighted as well, but this is some thick ass behavior, right?
it. Is.
But in an attempt to stop Claire from eating his, Andrew ends up spilling his on the floor, which is promptly followed by a mess smoking and burning like acid. That is an extreme thing to do, but also, as we'll later see, makes no sense in the context of the story.
Not really, but I thought the melting effect looked pretty cool. But then it's a mixed bag of an effect because then it's followed by something a bit cheesy.
Yes, because they run off and we see a man, the face of the man from the whispering in laughing. So like it kind of turns into a circle and he's just laughing in it. It's not great.
But then it kind of like is up and down because at first the melting effect's good, then it's his appearing of his face is not good. But then if before it cuts away, you can almost see like an actual hand coming through the hole, which I thought was
I
like
missed that.
like yeah, it's really brief. It like happens right before it cuts away. I thought that was like a cool little effect as well.
Fair enough. With very few options, the two kids head back to the inn, arriving as the wind has gotten really strong. And inside now, they find a group of people, seemingly from a different time period, with old-fashioned music playing. Claire
I was gonna
asks for
say,
help. Go on.
did they not notice that that was him in the hole in the ground? Did they
I
just
thought
not
they
know?
didn't see it.
They still I just didn't see it.
Yeah,
Why
I
they
think
run up?
they ran out
Run up?
before.
Yeah, because I was thinking like if they didn't notice that was clearly him, why the hell are they going back to where he is?
No, I think they run out just before. I think it's for our benefit.
Ah, okay.
Claire asks for help explaining what she knows about Louise, but the people seem not to care. One elderly and elegant lady offer her some punch, which Claire refuses. Oh, so you have got some brains then.
I did like this moment when they walked in and everyone just literally. There's a moment where they all just stop and dead like stare at them like
Yeah.
yeah,
Creepy.
that was a cool, creepy moment. Yeah.
Yep. A dancing couple come closer, and a woman in the couple tells her to relax because their babysitter will just be fine. That is once the sun sets. The man in the dancing couple tells them that it's going to be a full moon on a leap year that night, and they wouldn't be here otherwise before they laugh and go back dancing. So yeah, creepy shit. The old elegant lady tells Claire that she reminds her so much of her dear Jane, and it's so sad that she does. And then there was a blonde man who's adjusting the jukebox. He comes by and he tells them not to pay attention to them, and they're just pulling your leg. And he tells Claire to lighten up because the sun is going down and they can live. If you're thinking like all of this is really cryptic, it doesn't get any clearer.
Yeah, I can't lie in that the episode was starting to bore me a little bit at this point.
It's not very interesting. Claire asks about the house and its occupant, but he cryptically answers by saying, "Who is the house living in?" Fuck off, mate. The last person, an elderly bald man, tells him it's Master Raymond's house, and it has been for years and for years to come. Having gotten nowhere, Claire and Andrew leave, but outside they realize they should now call their parents. So they head back into the inn to ask for a phone, and they find it empty, as it was when they first came there. I just don't get it. I don't get this. And seeing the episode in full, it makes even less sense.
It's true.
Scared, thinking of a ghost, they run off and go back to the house. They're determined now to find Louise, but inside they hear voices echoing and whispering from the walls because the whispering walls thing. Although I would argue, is it the walls though? Isn't it the paintings?
Good point.
Some of the voices say they'll never ever leave the house, and one voice is a woman laughing. They then hear Louise calling for them. They follow her voice, finding her seemingly trapped inside a mirror. She begs them to help her and tells them that she's upstairs. Then suddenly her face vanishes to reveal the face of the pale man from the inn. They run away but end up locked in a room, and Claire realizes that that must be Master Raymond. Way!
Mm.
Way! Claire is calm and manages to talk Andrew into working together to find Louise, and they head upstairs, heading down the long corridor from before. As they pass empty picture frames, the people from the inn appear in them, looking at the kids. It's a decent effect. I mean, it's shit Harry Potter did later on.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hearing singing, they find Louise in a baby's bedroom, rocking a bundle in her arms. Claire and Andrew are obviously very confused, as Louise claims she's perfectly fine. She also says they can leave once the baby is asleep. However, apparently these stupid people who don't pay attention to anything paid attention to something I didn't. Because they then notice a massive ruby ring in her hand and realize it's not Louise at all. Now, I initially didn't understand this. I couldn't work out what they had seen. So I went online and read a plot synopsis that said, oh, they notice the ruby ring. And I was like, what ruby ring? So I then went back and was like, oh, yeah, there was one on Master Raymond's hand in the inn. And I'm like, wait, so they don't notice basic shit, but they noticed the ring in his finger.
Bit far-fetched.
Indeed, just a bit. Obviously, it's Master Raymond, and he throws the bundle at Claire as Andrew runs off. Claire looks at the bundle, screams, and throws it down, revealing it was a snake. Very good camera work here, because obviously she's not holding a snake. But they don't show what's in the bundle in a clever cut position. When she throws it down, it gets a quick cut, and then we got a snake. Works for me.
Yeah, it's a real snake, so it's cool.
Yep. Andrew has made a run for the door, but it won't open. Claire catches her breath in the hallway and sees the old, elegant woman appear in a frame behind her, speaking of her dear little Jane, and it's so sad. This only exists to set the fucking ending up.
Also, we just had good ghosts in the previous episode. No more good ghosts, damn it.
Damn right. Claire screams and runs away, ending up at a statue face with two hands holding candles. The face speaks and reveals that it's Louise and that she is trapped. And looking closer, Claire ends up pulling on one of the candles, and it turns out to be a revolving door. It's a cool little set design.
Yeah.
Downstairs, Andrew is looking for Claire and Louise when suddenly the front door opens with a powerful draft of wind. Remembering earlier that Master Raymond demanded that the door in the inn be shut because he hates drafts of winds. And this gives him an idea, and he pulls out. So I haven't mentioned this yet. He has an air fan propeller, one of those handheld ones you had as a kid to cool down. And this apparently has given him an idea, and he runs off to find the other two. And I was like, wait, hold on a fucking second. They're not about to make the MacGuffin wind. Wind, Liam.
Wind.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the revolving door, Claire finds Louise asleep in a chair. Andrew is now on the other side of the wall, and Claire tells him how to open it. As Andrew is about to pull down the candlestick, Master Raymond's face appears, laughing and attempting to scare him. Andrew turns on the little air fan propeller, and the air from it makes Master Raymond vanish. And Andrew enters the other side of the wall and is reunited with Claire and Louise. And I was switched off. I was ready to be done. I was like, really? Wind.
My favorite part about this episode is how nobody at any point appears to be particularly scared of this Raymond guy. They just all, when he appears, they just get kind of annoyed. I just want to just go away. And he's got that kind of go away heat thing going on.
Well, part of it is because he doesn't do fuck all except laugh in reflections. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, it's true. It's exactly right.
I'm going to go further and talk about how crap of a villain he is at the end. But he finally shows up in the flesh now and claims that when the sun sets, Louise's soul will be his. He wants her energy to keep him alive, the house alive, and she'll become a trapped spirit. Obviously, like all awful villains, he talks too much. And Andrew picks up a vase and smashes a nearby window, which lets the wind blow in, and Master Raymond vanishes. And I'm just like, what a weakness to have, man.
I thought it was just like the daylight, like a vampire type of thing, but because he mentions how it's like getting dark or something.
Yeah, I suppose it is like that, except The problem is the wind doesn't vanquish him like the sunlight does. It just seems to make him go away for a bit.
Yeah.
Louise now wakes up and the three of them make a run for the front door. They're too late, though, as the door closes and Master Raymond arrives. From outside. From outside. Where the wind is.
Yeah, that's where it is.
He tells them there is no use running because the sun is almost down and Louise is his. Andrew tries to use his little propeller fan again, but it's jammed. Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Master Raymond looks like he's won as he puts Louise and Claire in a trance, makes them follow him. They might be wondering, why not Andrew? Good fucking question, because he just tells Andrew to go away. I was just like, this episode isn't even trying anymore. Why would you do that? Why would you give the kid an opportunity to find a way to beat you?
It's me.
But none of this matters, because the elegant old lady, who we now learn is called Violet, appears and refuses to let Master Raymond have their souls. He is mad that she dares defy him, and Violet asks him to spare them because they're just kids and they're all so young. He instructs her to return to the walls, but declaring that Claire is just like a poor little Jane, Violet opens the front door wide. The wind rushes in and Master Raymond disappears, screaming as he does. Louise and Claire are freed from the trances and Violet tells them to leave before he comes back. They run out of the house as fast as they can and back to Louise's car, which is now working. They drive away, but then we see another vehicle immediately pulling up and a different man coming out, appearing to be lost and looking at the house next to him. And as the story ends, Betty Ann says the house still stands today and the people still continue to disappear when the moon is full on February 29th. And my response to that is, shut up, Betty Ann. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Your story was terrible and they should all tell her it was I hate this story because none of it makes sense. It's got a dumb, terrible villain whose motivations don't even make sense to me. I can't understand the concept, the logic behind what he's doing or why he acts the way he does, teasing and teasing and teasing. He's got to wait till the sun goes down for the moon to come out. Put them all in trances, you idiot. All of them. That's the end of it. And just wait. But your weakness is wind. Wind. Fucking wind. How does he travel from the house to the inn?
That's a good point. I mean, they make a big deal about how he's sort of intertwined with the house. So how does the inn, that's quite a bit away, how is that linked? Yeah.
How is that linked? Why does he allow his ghost to wander on February 29th to do shit? How is a ghost able to open a front door with her hand? All of this is nonsensical.
Yeah, and the worst part is that I found the episode kind of boring. Like I said, it was just losing me on many points. I think just because it just didn't make any sense a lot of the time, and it was just trying too many different things without really fleshing anything out particularly well. And I think that's obviously one of the worst things that these episodes could possibly do is bore you. Because I can't remember a time when that's happened up to now. So there you go.
It is a stinker. And you've nailed it. It is boring. This is going to be one of the most forgettable. Even the things I like to do where we kind of make fun and point at tropes and shit like that, I don't have the energy for it.
No, I can't even make fun of it. Oh, but like that, at least that made me laugh, kind of thing. You know, there's nothing like that.
It's a bad one. It is The Tale of the Whispering Walls, episode 8 of season 2. You got any thoughts that you know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website, where reviews, news, and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.